Sup, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome everybody to the show. This is Peliculas With The Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas With The Bros is a show where me and my brother Ivan discuss a movie. Every week we discuss a new movie. Ivan, what's the movie of the week?
Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle. But before we get into that, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like I said, we're a podcast. If you like podcasts and you like to watch us, you can go to youtube.com, look us up, Peliculas With The Bros, and hit the subscribe button. You'll get a video every week to your feed. And it'll be our beautiful mugs, and we'll be talking about movies. And if you like, just ignore our weird faces, because we just heard my daughter, Ivan's niece, just give a quite cute little yell from upstairs. Anyways, if you like podcasts, go to your favorite podcast platform: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast,
Teaser.
Spreaker, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Look us up, Peliculas With The Bros. Hit the subscribe button, and that is it about that. Before we get into Howl's Moving Castle, Ivan, final thoughts on There's Something About Mary.
Forgot about it.
Fair.
Hope I don't have to watch it again.
Ouch.
Good movie.
It's like when you slap someone and you're just like, you're a good man.
Like, you're a good boy.
Yeah. Which is really hard. Something About Mary. Yeah, don't need to watch it again, but I'm glad it exists. Thank you, the Fairley Brothers. Ivan, are you ready to turn an old... Sorry, let me restart that. Ivan?
Yeah.
Ready to turn old and become a maid for a ravaging wizard? Only to realize you're falling in love with said wizard, who is actually a boy who turns into a raven?
Okay.
Well, tell me too, what's the movie of the week?
Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle, written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki. The premise of this movie, a girl who is kind of like, what would you describe her as?
Homely.
Tell me you're ugly without saying it. Is homely.
Some average girl. Just an average.
She's average looks-wise, but in the soul.
Homely.
She's homely. And she has like she's like the ugly sister out of them all, right?
Yeah.
The one that, and she's kind of different. She doesn't care about looks or any of that. And one day she just gets swept up literally by a wizard who's like a K-pop superstar looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, come with me if you want to live, type of thing. And from there, her adventure goes crazy and she finds true love. That's the premise. Yeah. Ivan, the cast, English cast.
Christian Bale as Howl.
Ivan was waiting like 2 weeks for that.
Yeah.
Well, you took the thunder out of my sails, or whatever they say. Christian Bale, yes, as Howl. We have Emily Mortimer as Sophie Hatter. Lauren Bacall as Witch of the Waste, which I never really understood what they were saying. Like, Witch of the Waste.
Oh, yeah.
It was confusing. Billy Crystal as Calcifer.
Mike Wazowski.
And for the whole movie, I was like, this is the guy from Hercules.
Oh.
He's Hades.
Yeah. Wait, no?
What?
That's not Hades.
I know.
Oh.
It wasn't until I read the cast, I'm like, that was Billy Crystal? Oh, my God, I got it so wrong. Yeah.
I guess they have that style of like...
New Yorker.
Yeah, something like that.
I can't do the accent. How do you do a Billy? Okay.
I don't want to be racist.
All right. Ivan, we said some of the cast. The director of this movie is probably... Can we just say it right now? One of the greatest directors of all time? Is that fair? In the point blank and period on the Peliculas With The Bros podcast, to put in the Wikipedia entry of his name, is he one of the greatest directors of all time?
Yes.
Wow. Ivan, his movies are as follows, but not all. Castle of Cagliostro, seen it? Nod and or shake if you've seen it or not. Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. Castle in the Sky.
Shouldn't I say it because it's a podcast?
Yes. Castle in the Sky.
No.
My Neighbor Totoro.
I saw half. I got bored.
Kiki's Delivery Service.
No.
You said this is the greatest director of all time. All these movies are like Porco Rosso,
No.
Princess Mononoke,
Yes, I don't remember.
Spirited Away,
Yes.
Ponyo,
Yes.
The Wind Rises.
No.
So you've literally seen like 4 of the movies, and 2 of them you're like, nah, didn't like it. But he's one of the greatest directors of all time. Well, Ivan, I appreciate your critical take, because you're doing that because of the critics, right? Because you know he's critics' favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, let's talk about a little bit about our boy Miyazaki, or how we like to call him, Titi.
Titi.
Director Titi. Hand-drawn, minimal computers, minimal 3D animation. That's his claim to fame, right?
Mm-hmm.
He likes paper.
Well, okay.
He sees paper, he's like, movie time.
Okay.
I see paper, I'm like, goddamn, here
Money.
I go. But yeah, paper,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, let's get this going.
Okay.
He writes as he animates.
Okay. It shows.
Oh, I think for this movie it shows. Oversees every frame of animation.
Mm-hmm.
He's very like, think. So I'm gonna say it. Ivan, he's an auteur.
Wow.
Hi guys.
The first auteur.
That we've ever said.
Yeah.
That we've ever claimed. Couple other things. His movies, to me at least, they feel like melancholic. I can't say this word.
Melancholy.
Melancholy, but it's melancholic.
That's melancholic.
Melancholic. That's a lot easier for me to say for some reason. It's not even a word. Melancholic. They feel very melancholic.
Yeah.
Do you feel that too?
Yeah.
Very melancholy?
I think this a little less, but like Spirited Away for sure was. It's only 2 movies I've seen of his. But this one, I liked it. It wasn't too like sad.
Don't go there, but yes. And his themes are usually in the same realm: environmentalism,
Mm-hmm.
pacifism,
Mm-hmm.
feminist,
Oh.
anti-war.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan, he is you.
No,
Hi, guys.
I'm not a feminist. Maybe,
And let me just say like one big thing about him. So he and another guy created Studio Ghibli, and Studio Ghibli is the one that made most of these movies. And
George Ghibli.
good old George Ghibli, and they made other movies, not just these movies.
Yeah.
That is to say that he's basically the Pixar of Japan.
Yeah.
But one of the big things that I really found interesting, listening to a different podcast, shout out to Blank Check, that he limits the amount of money that they can make through their IP. So he's like, we can only make for example, we can only make $10 million
Mm-hmm.
from our merch sales.
Mm-hmm.
If we make more than that, like we can't make more than that. So don't make any more plushies. Don't make any more of this. Why? He's against like consumerism.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants like the people that really want it can get it. Other than that, he doesn't want like this big surplus. He doesn't want to be like, he doesn't want to be Disney.
Right.
Ivan,
What?
you are Director TT.
I guess if I have to.
What do you think about that?
I wouldn't. I'd just give me the money.
Oh,
Come
you
on.
liar.
I don't know if I have to see. I have to see his financials to see how much I align with this vision. But I like it in theory, but I would also want a good chunk of money to have like, maybe he does like a good safe, a little nest egg that he's just been storing up just in case. But if he like cuts it off at like 10 million, which did you make that up?
Yeah, 10 million's the random number I chose.
Oh.
But it is a relatively small number. He's not like, I'll cut it off at 20 billion. Thank you very much.
If it's like
smaller, it's a lot smaller.
If it's like 100 million, sure.
But what's your reasoning? What's the reasoning behind like?
It's like a checks and balances sort of thing. Like if I have this rule way ahead of time where it prevents me from being greedy, and then 20 years pass, and then I make Avatar 25, and the potential of the money it's just beyond my $1 million limit, I wouldn't go into like the evil area.
Right.
Because I already have like people and laws that would say like.
But that's what he's doing, right?
Yeah. So I agree with him. I'm just saying, I don't know his financials.
One of the big things I think is like take away the fact that there's like a hard number. It's more so like, can we get by? Do we not go negative?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So like his thing is, as long as we don't go negative, and we can even go negative on some movies, but overall we can't go negative.
As long as they have like a good chunk, like $1 billion in the bank, do it.
And it's, to me, it's something that like I think we discussed last week. Yes, we did, about like how I hate Kim K. KK. Okay. Because of going for more and more money.
Yeah.
And it's such a opposite way of thinking. You know, like the automatic thinking, the automatic way of us thinking as humans is more, right? So you actively have to be like, but why do I need to sign this licensing deal with this plushie company?
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're going to give you $20 million.
Yeah.
But I don't need 20 million. But don't you want it? You know, it's just like such a weird way of thinking, but props to him.
Well, this is like tangent.
Yes.
But like those actors, like Asteroid City, like a lot of the actors took like $800 on that. Like I like that. If you're already making, if you're Robert Downey Jr., I would not take pay at this point.
Right.
And just do everything. Or if I do take pay, like, okay, 10 million is my baseline, it goes to the writers or whatever. And just do that if I already have my $100 million bank.
Yeah. That's a good thing too.
Same energy.
Yeah. I think as a culture, I don't know. I also find it like, even on a weirder side note, I was about to say that I think as a culture we're probably going towards more that way, but then I'm also thinking about like, for some reason, the idea of the difference in European style versus American style as far as the culture. And in America, when we talk about sports and their salaries, it's very open. Like LeBron James makes $44,129,250 a year. But for like a player like Ronaldo,
Zinedine Zidane,
his exact contract isn't as open. Like they rather not show, and I think it's because they're
embarrassed.
Yeah, they don't want to be seen as like, oh yeah, I'm making $200 million a year. But in America, it's like fine to like show, you know, to show how much money. But in Europe, maybe it's not as polite, but they still make buttloads of money. So it's not necessarily that we're going towards one specific way in culture. Maybe we are. I don't know.
I think we are slowly. I think a lot of like that recent controversy with like Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
And like I think it's just shining a light on these people are kind of rich and it's getting kind of gross. Like I'm sure she got like 500 million in the bank and she's still kind of making her show. I guess she wants to just do it for herself, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
Drew Barrymore, good or bad?
Neutral. Well, it's like there's no good thing, no such thing as a good billionaire. And I think if you have your 500 million, you'll need 498 million of those.
My one rebuttal is Logan Murdoch.
You mean Logan?
Logan Roy.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
you combine them.
Let me edit that.
Here.
My one.
Yeah.
My one rebuttal is
Where's he going?
Logan Roy.
Whoa.
We'll be right back. You like that?
What a slap on the floor.
You know, like there's, I don't know if you know Vince McMahon when like he walks.
Yeah, like swings.
But like if I'm ever like super rich, it'd be like just be like the ape. That's like Conor McGregor too. And it's supposedly it works. Like
the walk?
I should say it can work.
What work in what way?
Like if you put him in Country Fred, Alabama, and he walks into a Denny's, and people don't know who he is, but you walk that way, they'll be like, "Oh, this guy, he'll probably kick my ass.
Oh,
He's probably important, right?"
yeah.
But if you put him in L.A., they'll be like,
this clown?
since it's a smarter,
smarter people in LA compared to
exact. Oh,
the country.
We're back.
Delete that, please.
My career is riding on the line. Ivan, lastly on our boy TT, otherwise known as Hayao Miyazaki, he is incredibly impactful to the culture.
Mm-hmm.
He inspired TVs, video games, and movies.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wes Anderson.
Trash.
Zelda.
That's something.
Like the creator of Zelda saw one of his movies, or like his first couple movies, like we should make our movie or game like that.
Watching this, like the magic system in this movie, I was like, I want to see a universe in here. Like I want more of that. But they only ever made one, which is like a video game, like Harry Potter, that Harry Potter game that come out. But Howl's Moving Castle universe,
right,
that magic, that'd be sick.
Ghibli has done like art direction for games.
Yeah, was it like
Ninu Nunakai?
Nino Kuni.
I think you just said a bad word in Japan.
Nino Kuni.
Final Fantasy. Creator of Final Fantasy saw this and was like, well, not this, but
yeah,
inspired by him. The biggest one right here. The big one.
Hit me.
Pixar. Like, Lasseter is like, he calls Hayao daddy, basically. Daddy.
Daddy. Papi.
What do you think about that? Like, and then just even like comparing that Venn diagram of like Hayao or let's just say Ghibli, right?
Yeah.
Bert's Pixar. Pixar becomes a cancerous monstrosity, right? And the way they license and the way, maybe because like I heard that they didn't want to sell to Disney.
Okay. Yeah.
Back in the day, but they did. And like, imagine if Pixar just stayed neutral, what would have they have done? They wouldn't have made 50 movies, but I think they still would have made like the classics.
Right.
It's just interesting. And for a guy to be like, yeah, they copied me.
Yeah, to have that on your belt.
But he wouldn't even do that. He'd be like,
Pixar, Zelda,
Final Fantasy. In the back, he's like, oh, what's Henderson?
A ham sandwich.
But for you, Ghibli movies, you just said yes, no to a bunch of ones that you've watched. Which ones have impacted you and which ones haven't? And tell me why they haven't impacted you, or why haven't they hit?
Of the two I've seen, Spirited Away. Oh, I've seen Ponyo, but that one felt like a supremely kids movie.
Yes.
Spirited Away and this. Where do I start, Adrian? Because it hasn't really impacted me too much.
Okay. To add to that, it's like I feel the same way, and I wondered if it's because the way we are corn fed, our American pop spam sandwich in our mouths.
Right.
Does the taste of a nice chicken cutlet from Japan not soothe the palate? Jesus Christ, where am I going? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the flavor.
I think
it's a complete. As a kid watching this, I think I would have been a little bit bored, and that's kind of messed up.
I mean, I don't remember exactly when, but when I watched Spirited Away, like I don't ever remember watching that and being like, this sucks. Like I liked it the first time I watched it. And I was a kid, and it felt like, I think that's probably one of the first movies where it was like, I was a kid and I felt like it was a smart movie still. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I had
yeah.
an opinion as a
Yeah.
5-year-old.
You know,
The
what'd be funny?
cinematography on this.
No, it would be funny if like there's a movie that you watched that was like a completely horrible movie. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a smart movie, and you're like a little kid. You're just like
this
Pikachu
guy.
movie, this Pokemon movie, artistic beyond its
Chef's kiss.
chef's kiss.
1 out of 10 Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh god. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think long term, I would definitely use this movie as like, or his movies as like inspiration for whatever creative endeavor I want to take on, just because it's such a like, I think it's like the perfect I guess art.
Yes.
It just,
Artifact.
yeah, like you watching like, oh, like art direction, world building,
Writing.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's
Oh, yeah.
I think the writing was kind of weird just because it's not English traditionally.
I'm always yeah. For me, as I was watching it, I'm like, I feel like the story isn't correct in English.
Because there is some times where like they don't really respond to each other. But
Yeah.
I think what they really focus on making the lips match more than what the words are saying.
Interesting. Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's always been a trend, but I know that's how they usually do that.
So if they're trying to say like, I hate you, but it doesn't match directly,
I think they try. They're not like, it's not 1-to-1, because it was a 1-to-1 with this.
Right.
But like they really try to make it.
Interesting. That's kind of hamstringing.
I think it's because people are little dummy dums sometimes.
Yeah.
So they're like, why isn't that? I
Right.
think they could get away with it now. But I would have to watch with subtitles to see like how far.
Without saying whether you liked this movie or not, do you think this movie, or you think, would you rather see this movie in subtitles?
Ideally, no.
Are you a subtitles guy generally?
Nah.
No.
I mean, if I have to.
I am, especially with foreign. I mean, animated movies are a little different, right? Because like, you can kind of fudge some things, like you're saying. But I can definitely not do like voiceover, foreign film, right?
I would want it to be like wherever they're set, like the location to be that language. So if it's like Italy, Italian, and then English subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, it would just be all English in America, but that's not.
Come on, get it right, Japan.
Yes.
Ivan, let's stop beating around the bush. What did you think about Howl's Moving Castle?
It's good.
It is good. We'll be back next week. Peace out.
Bye.
It's honest, like going in, I thought it was gonna be something completely different.
You never watched her?
No, first time watching. And I didn't watch it in the theaters because I didn't have a chance. We were gonna go, but I was just so tired. It was a long day with my child. Shut up.
$20, you know. AMC doesn't cover it.
I know, and I paid it, and I got it refunded.
Show off.
Baller. Did you go to the theaters?
Mm-hmm. Pretty packed.
Packed?
Pretty packed. There's a little weebs in there, I think.
Oh,
because there's like a big laugh when he was saying like, if I'm not beautiful, I don't see a reason to live.
Yeah.
And I watched it at home a while back, and it felt like a little more heartfelt.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's a little corny.
Yeah.
But at the theater, people like burst out laughing. Like just a group of guys in the back. It's like, come on, let's be civil. It didn't ruin it, but it's.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I don't think when he made that scene, he meant it to be
funny.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, that specific scene, I was like, where does this tone come from? Like, to me, all of a sudden, he's this superficial guy, but like, I don't think in any other part of the movie he's even remotely superficial.
I mean, I think he is just by how he carries himself and how he dresses and his hair.
That's true. It's very flamboyant.
Like if you just look at them, you're like, oh, that's someone who takes care of their appearance.
Yeah.
And I think that's.
I wish people say that about me.
I say that about you.
Nice. To my mom?
Yeah. Sure.
You tell mom. You know that Adrian guy?
You heard of Adrian? You know?
He takes care of his appearance.
Like he does? Like, yeah, you'd be surprised.
Nah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, general mood of the theater. How was it?
There's some. They liked it.
Yeah.
Like it was. There wasn't like laugh out moments besides that, and I was, you kids.
Right.
But people like snickering at like little, like the dog. People.
The dog was funny.
Yeah, I love the dog, the chicken dog.
Yeah. The dogs didn't make any kind of sense, and I was like, beautiful.
What is that?
I know, like, is that a dog or is that like a mole rat?
But it's just there.
Yeah.
But that's like part of the world building. I think
Yes.
like
Gotta
that I
make
love
weird.
about it so much. It's
Yeah.
like there's no explanation, but
Okay, so tell me what you loved about the movie, and then we'll talk about things we loved, things we didn't like.
music easily.
Yeah, music's good.
I liked how I don't think a lot of movies really do this anymore, but like that one song they use and how they like stretch it out or like change it depending on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really like that.
That's like it's called like a reprise, right?
Something I don't know.
It's like if you're playing one song and the song's called Love Reprise, Love Extended, or I know what you mean. Yes.
And they have like muted versions where it's like if they're like going through something sad, but they're still playing that song.
Or
and
they
then,
use like a different instrument.
Yeah, and
like
it's like really
violin.
high energy, like
Drums down. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
Nice. Okay.
World building, magic system.
Yep.
Just because like you're just wondering what everything is the whole time.
Not and they don't explain shiznit.
No, it's sometimes it doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
But like
One of my
so
gripes with the movie is actually that it doesn't make sense. But go ahead.
But like there's so much where you can't really nitpick everything because just there's everything. There's like a million things they put in there.
Yeah, it's in a way it's kind of Star Wars ish, where it's like the original Star Wars, where you're like a lot of information can go back and just like rewatch. Like, oh, did you notice how that wizard had to do a Wingardium Leviosa to do that? Whatever.
It's like when I talk about Succession and the creator said it doesn't matter if the audience knows what it means, as long as they know it's good for the family.
Right.
I think it's like the same energy. Like,
yes.
It doesn't matter if they know what the magic system is. They just have to know how is sad here.
Yes.
This doesn't like this person that was their mentor before.
Mm-hmm.
And how they took away their magic with the guys floating around them.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? Like,
right. Like, what are they doing to that obese? That's not even the proper word for that.
She's just there's like
rotund,
whale like,
rotund whale.
Yes.
And shout out to the Witch of the Waste, because that's the same kind of energy that was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. The bad guy, the girl who had that funky face. Remember when we're like, I like how everything's drawn poorly.
Oh yeah.
And this is like, it's not really drawn poorly, but it's very cartoony.
Yeah.
And that just elevates a lot of things, you know? Like, you'll never forget how many roles Yanta lady had over there.
Like, they're not perfect Pixar people.
Right.
Even like the imperfect Pixar people, they look perfect still.
Because they're 3D.
Yeah.
And that's something that this movie that we talked about, that it has the hand-drawn style. But there's also, I don't know if you noticed, the 3D-ness of it, too.
Yeah.
In spurts. Did that throw you off at all?
A little bit. Like with the moving castle.
Yeah.
Like it was like pictures kind of put together.
Yes.
And they kind of morphed it, I saw. I feel like that they would have really benefited from like modern CGI.
Mm-hmm.
And just have, since it's all mechanical and blocks, like it doesn't need to like be all wavy animation-y. Right. It can just be like a moving castle.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they had the tech back then.
I well, it was 2004, and I think even if they could get the tech, I think Hayao would have been nah. Let's do this how we want to do it.
Yeah. If I were him, I would. If I were him,
This guy doesn't know anything, right?
yeah, it's just like cutting corners, but in like a way where people won't actually care. Like no, like I think it would have looked even better with a good CGI and then like a little drawing pass over it, so like details,
right?
instead of like that weird morph stuff they did.
Yeah.
I think like it just would have been better CGI.
That being said, I did like the overall
Yeah,
design
yeah,
of the
yeah.
house.
It still looks good.
Yeah,
I just think CGI could have
up to one
bumped
point.
it. Yeah.
One of the things that is super interesting to me about this movie, and I think I realized it before, but it really hit home, is that it's the thing that Miyazaki does, that Ghibli does, that other kids movies don't do, animated kids movies. They have like, it's a movie. They have like long shots. They have times when it's just like quiet scenes where the shot's like 2 extra frames or whatever. But in regular movies, I'm thinking about like Super Mario Bros. Where it's like da 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 da, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Can't even breathe.
This one is like, no, just enjoy what we're doing here. Less hand holding than a typical like kids movie. Like you were saying, they don't explain much, and more mature subject. Like you wouldn't see a war film. Like this is essentially an anti-war film, and they wouldn't
like houses, cities burning.
Right.
Pretty crazy.
And a gripe for me with this movie is it feels all over the place. It feels messy.
Yeah.
Like, why is Howl a bird? Why is there a war?
Oh.
Like, what's the war? What's happening here? What's up with this witch? Like, what? I didn't understand that the Witch of the Waste was in love with Howl.
Right.
And I didn't know, like, he was, like, trying to escape her because of that.
I think it could have been 2 movies, like Howl's upbringing and all this, and then finally Howl's.
Like, right. And then, like, what's this? Like, I don't get I don't get Calcifer.
Oh, like he's a star, but I don't get the stars either.
Right.
Yeah.
But do we need to get it to enjoy the movie better?
I say no, but I just want more. I think it's just, if you want more, it doesn't count as a gripe, because it doesn't. What was your gripe? Say your gripe again.
I guess it's just a lot of things felt like they didn't make sense. Not so much that I didn't know how they worked. Like, one of the specific things that didn't make sense is, like, why is her mom such an asshole?
Oh.
Like, why does she help the...
Oh. Threatened? Didn't she get a husband out of her?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just, like, they're just a bad person. Like, it doesn't need, like, what would you want? Her trauma list?
Like, why... She seems like she loves her daughter, but then, like, she betrays her behind her back. Like, there's no explanation of, like... And then, even when she does it, she's like, I'm sorry.
Well, she does look kind of like just off her looks. How...
Money hungry.
Yeah.
Kim K.
Yeah, like
What's
that.
Kim K's mom?
Chris.
She's a Chris.
Yes. I think maybe that's what he was doing, like... Instead of telling everything through like the movie, he's kind of relying on how they act and how they dress. Like with Howl, with Sophie too. Like she dressed plainly, just manages the hat shop, has like that one boring braided hair down.
Right. Come on, woman, don't be so homely. Oops.
2 braided hairs at least.
I didn't say this, but like how the sausage was made for this movie, it's based on a book. And it's very loosely based on a book. But one of the big things which kind of explains the movie to me, as far as like the messiness, is that it was made in like a year by Miyazaki.
Okay.
Because another director was making it, and the studio didn't like what he was making, so Miyazaki came, saved the day, made it in a year. And it makes sense of like the looseness of everything. Like the movie doesn't feel like a tight plot conjoined.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what the movie should be, but it just doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It's more of a whimsical, surreal, almost kind of tale, you know. And it is like an epic,
Yeah.
going from here to there. But there is a lot of scenes where they're just in that little room,
Yeah.
stoking the fire. Calcifer, the Brooklyn baby. What's his name? Billy Crystal.
Yes.
What a last name.
Crystal?
Imagine Ivan Crystal.
I'd be a drug dealer.
Yeah. Adrian Crystal. I think I'll be a stripper.
Okay.
The drawing style, it really reminds me of like in cartooning, in comic books. There's a style called like clean line, where you just draw without trying to be like stylistic, you know, just very simple figures.
Oh, like no, like sketch stuff.
No sketch. Don't like exaggerate the muscles. Don't exaggerate like anything. Just make it simple and clean. And I think the main characters, except for like the Witch of the Waste, they're very simple and clean.
Yeah.
Like there's no exaggeration to their style. And I think that's one of his things, you know, like very simple, clean lines. What do you think about Christian Bale's performance?
It was good. I think he did the best he could. I think it's like, one, you have to voice act, which is like you have to imagine what's going on.
Yes.
Or maybe he saw the movie first and then he did that.
Yeah.
Probably did that. But then you have to work from a translated script.
Yes.
And make sure it fits the cadence of the lips moving. It's tough.
It is tough. And I wouldn't even say he was good. I feel like it was kind of phoned in.
I can see that.
Because there was parts where he was like, and then I met you, and you changed everything. Like, I didn't feel the emotion. I don't know.
Tough. We gotta see in Japanese.
I have to learn Japanese first.
I'm not gonna be racist.
Okay, good job. The Witch of the Waste. We said how grotesquely beautiful she was.
Oh, okay.
But when she's old, when they remove the power, she's so cute. When she's just like a chubby little ball,
Little potato.
Yeah.
Little wrinkly potato.
like I want this heart. I like
It's
her.
fine.
What's with Hal? Like, why is he blonde? Why is he a boy? Is he a bird? What is he? Who is Hal?
He's a man.
He's a man.
He's a plan.
He has a plan, and he can.
That's all you need to know.
Like that. That's the interest. Like I didn't feel like there's a character tone for Hal.
Yeah, I think it's because there's so little said about him. Just like, he's a bird, I guess. He's a demon. He has rumors about stealing hearts. This Calcifer is his heart. There's just so much like mystery to him.
Yes.
I guess that's part of the appeal too. Like why Sophie's so into him. Like, such a mysterious fella.
Who wouldn't be?
Exactly. And it's all from her perspective, so.
True.
Like,
that's a good point.
Like, you don't see how, you only see like glimpses of him in the bird form, like fighting for like 10 seconds.
Right.
And then it's like back to Sophie. But even that is like, it's so little. It's always Sophie and what she experiences with Hal.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're making me like this character a little bit more. There is like something about him that, like, he's just okay. Like when Sophie shows up and she's like, "I'm your maid," he's like, "All right, see you guys later." Like, he doesn't give a rat's ass.
I think my rationalization was that like he's so powerfully magic that he can instantly sense, like, oh, she's just.
She's fine.
She's cursed, but she's cool.
I like her bad.
Pretty much.
And how powerful is he? Like, he destroyed like a ship just by like going like. He's like Neo.
Yeah.
He's Neo.
That's what it is, huh? He's the one.
He is. So Matrix Oh no, he copied the Matrix.
It's on the book though.
Wow. are demons like demons in American culture are like the devils.
Mm-hmm.
Demons in Japanese culture different? Because I feel like they call everything demons. Like, oh, he's a good demon. He's a bad demon.
I feel like demons are just like neutral spirits that can be evil or good. Like if Calcifer was put in a position like lands on the witch of the Wast's like hand,
Yeah.
then he would have been evil. But if I don't know what the good like angels, I'm gonna say angels.
Right. That's what I was equating it to.
I think like there are legitimate like good entities that maybe we don't know about.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe it's all just demons and witches.
Uh-huh. And wizards.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like nothing's ever evil or good. It just, they're kind of what they are and then what around them influences them.
Almost like a human.
I'm a demon.
Demon time.
That's what I do in demon time.
One through line of this movie is like Howl hates the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he keeps fighting in it.
Men.
And the more he fights in it, the more of a ugly raven he turns into.
Right.
But he needs to fight to save the ones he loves.
Right.
Is it like a never-ending cycle?
No.
Correct.
Yes. I think by then it's like love. That's what we all needed because the scarecrow got kissed and then that fixed everything. Love. Hal got his heart back. He's okay now. Love. Like.
So what happens at the end? Like does the whatever lady general's like, oh, Hal's back? Or what does she say, and does she end the war? Like, to me, she ended the war immediately once she saw Hal was happy.
No, I thought it was because of the prince. I think they didn't explain it well, but I think they're fighting over the fact that the prince was missing. Mm-hmm. They're like blaming somebody else. Like, no, and then they fought. That's what I assumed.
Gotcha.
Is what happened, but they didn't really say much.
Gotcha. I could see that.
But I mean, I don't know.
Ivan, it's time to rate this movie. Out of 5
moving castles.
Out of 5 damn moving castles. How many moving castles is this?
I give 4.5.
Wow. Reasoning, go.
I'd say it might lower if I watch the English or Japanese version and I see that it still has the same issues. But I'm taking into account like the language difference. I think it's pretty perfect as is.
Wow. Okay.
Not a 5 because it's not like my perfect movie.
Right.
But it's up there.
Does it make you want to watch more of his movies?
I just like that kind of movie of his. Like I'm not into like I watched what's the one with the big cat?
Totoro?
Yeah, I watched half of that. I was bored. Like it was just kids. It's definitely like a kids movie.
Right.
Like kids move into a house and then they find like a little dimension where these animals are, and then I stopped before they actually were friends with Totoro. It was like, it seems like just straight up kids. Like there's no like war,
right?
Magical stuff.
So deep,
no. Maybe it depends if I read descriptions, see like this is more up my alley.
It's funny because like I feel like his movies are a big missing part in my film buff discog. And every time I see them like on Max, I'm like, I should probably watch it. It's probably better than anything I can pick, but I never pick it.
I want to watch the newest one, besides not the one releasing, the one before that. I want to watch just because like I want to see.
I heard that's his like.
Yeah.
I give this a 4 out of 5.
You monster.
I think it's a fun, interesting
romp for all ages.
Yes. I was just seeing like a preview for Paw Patrol on TV, like,
Okay.
and they're like, "Great movie for all the family." I'm like, who are these bozos who are saying this?
Bozos.
Meanwhile, I'm over here saying, "Great Rob for all the family." I don't know. It's not a 4. It's not above a 4 because it was too all over the place.
That's why, like, if I watch Japanese and it's still all over the place.
Lower it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't give it the handicap that you gave it. But even if I did, it just, I don't know. I guess I'm a plot guy. Like, I need the plot to work a little bit better.
Right.
But it's a very cool looking film. Glad I watched
like,
it.
Muted and muted dialogue. Perfect.
Make up your own dialogue.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun exercise. Perfect. The next movie is The Creator.
I might watch it tomorrow.
Nice.
To be honest, I have a day off, and that's like release day.
Ooh.
This would
Mingle
be
with
like
the crowd?
Yeah, like a normal person.
Yeah.
You know? I haven't felt like we're kind of celebrities, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk in. They're gonna be like, the Peliculas Bros are here. And they'll see me like, it's just they want the star over here.
Sorry, guys.
Like, he's busy. He has a kid.
He has a kid. He's an adult now.
Like, I'm here. That's all you're gonna get.
Ivan, good for you, Ivan. Go watch that movie.
Yes.
I'll probably watch it Sunday. I've already heard like it's okay and
Jeez.
that it's not like technically good.
I just want a Blade Runner vibe where it's like huge world. You don't know what's around the corner. Like what's that? Like how this movie was like that. Blade Runner has that energy where like there's so much stuff you don't really know what anything is.
Okay.
Like I feel like this is gonna be that.
All right. I won't say anything more. I don't know anything about that, so.
Okay.
Evan, it's time for Section Cold.
Things and such.
What you been watching on TV or movies or whatever?
Watched, just finished Fiona and Cake, a new miniseries based on.
How was it?
Pretty good.
Damn.
Think like I'm watching Adventure Time too. Like,
yeah.
With it, it's a pretty perfect show. Like for kids, like it teaches lessons. It's funny. Like adults can watch it. It's timeless. It doesn't rely on like pop culture in any way. It just like straight up its own world.
Yes.
Like the most pop culture is like a camera from the old world because it's like apocalyptic. Like that's the most you get. It's never like, well, Jay Leno last week, and that's dead in like a year.
That's a good point.
Super timeless. It's like, I think it's like top 5 show for me. It like just not personal, maybe personal, but like as far as like creation.
Damn, that's even more impressive.
I think it's there.
All right. All the seasons, like everything stacks up. All the seasons, or does it?
Yeah, I mean they kind of cheat because it's not like so linear. Like each episode goes to the next. Like they have a lot of filler, but the filler's
fun.
All good. It's just like you're there for fun. You're not there to like, well, when is this gonna get resolved? Especially like the fan base, they're like, who cares if that didn't get resolved? That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Like there's so many stupid things that they don't talk about, and it's just part of the world.
Yeah, I remember watching a couple episodes and I did chuckle. Like there's one where like it was one of the first ones where like they turn in jiggly or something. They turn to like a goo if they get touched or something. I forgot.
It's a good show.
Okay.
Make your daughter watch it.
I'll make her. Open her eyes.
Feast your eyes.
What else have you been watching?
What have I watched? I haven't watched movies.
I watched a Kurt Angle documentary.
A wrestler?
He was a amateur wrestler and professional wrestler.
Doesn't that just make him professional?
No. Amateur wrestler, thank you for asking,
I didn't ask. So
I don't care.
Okay.
I'd love to do that kind of thing. Amateur wrestler is a wrestler who does not professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is the fake wrestling. Amateur wrestling is a real wrestling, basically. which
So, like,
makes no kind of sense.
So like Olympic wrestling
is amateur wrestling.
That's so stupid.
I know. Anyways, watched it and
That's so stupid.
okay, take it.
Come on,
take it. My biggest takeaway is like he won an Olympic gold before he joined wrestling, WWE, and that story is bananas. Just like he broke his neck. The doctor's like, "You broke your neck. You can't wrestle." He's like,
It's a zoo.
I got it. Like I've trained. My life is about this. It's like the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
But even worse because like you could die.
I mean, I'm sure his neck muscles are so developed that he doesn't even need a spine.
Well, if you look at his neck, it's just like
yeah, it's like
sausage.
like straight up.
So and then he had to get like cortisone shots right in like the vertebrae, like 12 shots every time he wrestled. And then I think he's like 6 foot, and they show a guy he wrestles that he's just like 6'5", just like a Herculean type of guy, and he's just like this like he's still stocky, but the way he beats him is just crazy. And just off of watching the doc, I listened to him on Joe Rogan, and he gave a story about him wrestling Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
And he's like, I beat Brock Lesnar in a wrestling match. And he's like, everyone says like I kicked his ass, but I beat him. But the fact that he beat Brock Lesnar, who's just like a beast, is crazy.
I see.
But the main thing is just like that. What I want to talk about, just like how someone can like, I live for this.
Oh, like a singular purpose.
Yeah. And then like his training regimen, he's like, I realized that since I'm not like the biggest guy, what I had to do is like exhaust other wrestlers. So to do that, I have to exhaust myself. And his training was like 3 a days for 2 years.
3 workouts a day for 2 years.
And like exhausting workouts.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my. And obviously he was doing things.
Yeah.
But still, what the hell, man? I have good news for you. Your boy Fielder.
Oh, I heard.
Emma Stone, The Curse. Are you excited for this? He's your guy, right? Obviously, Emma Stone thinks too, because
yes,
Emma Stone, man.
I feel like he's like a Kanye of what he's doing.
I can see that.
Like, just nobody can do it like he's doing it, and just like cutting through.
I think it's even like more subversive than Kanye. Like, because a lot of people don't like what he does too.
Yeah.
Because it's not as pop. It's more. I don't know how to describe it. Like who would be his contemporary.
Nathan.
Yeah, it's definitely not someone successful. It'd be more of like a artsy. I don't know. Maybe there isn't.
I just mean Kanye in like.
He gets it.
Once in a lifetime mind.
Okay. Yes, I could see that. I'm interested. I want to watch this show. I don't know what it's about. Do you?
I heard it's on Showtime. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. We'll stream it illegally. The writer's strike is over.
Just cry for like 10 minutes.
And people are going to start writing movies again. TV shows.
We should last longer.
And takeaways?
I thought there would be more fanfare. Like,
oh, yeah. Well, the actor strike is still going.
What the hell?
But I think the takeaways for me is, and this is very basic, is that there's going to be more writers in a room. Like, the legal thing is like there has to be a certain amount of writers in a room.
Okay.
To write any kind of thing, which means like the studio needs to employ more writers for every show or everything that they make. And that they're already saying that means that there's going to be less content, which is what we predicted.
Okay.
Because like, okay, so you want more writers, then we're going to make less things because that's too much money that we have to pay.
Is that even going to fix something? I mean, not the pay. I'm not saying like, or employment. I'm not saying it won't fix that. Mm-hmm. Will it like fix scripts? Is it like throw more money into the...
I think it will fix... it won't fix all scripts, but it has the potential of fixing scripts. Because like before, it would be one person writing a show, and they don't want that. They want a more collaborative.
Lazy.
Wait, who?
The writers.
Because like less work.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I was there, like I would want like a partner. Like I wouldn't want like a whole team, unless like I need a team for like historical purposes, like I'm like a Abe Lincoln sort of deal.
Right.
Like I'm gonna need a team of writers who kind of know how
But
people talk, I guess.
Even if you think about Succession, that was a team of writers. Like you would think. I guess you're thinking that it's usually one person, 2-person show, but for writers, it's a big room.
I guess it depends what show it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like, if I know the story, I'll write out the whole thing. Like, why do I need this many people? But I think Succession was a lot more like improv-y.
Yeah.
So that one needed like multiple people. The iRobot guy, he wrote it all himself.
Wait.
Mr. Robot.
Oh, God. I was about to say, iRobot.
You made a mistake.
The greatest movie of all time, right? Right? Anyone?
No.
Dang, that movie was weird. iRobot. I liked it at the time, but
it's called classic-y.
Yeah, I could take that.
It's good.
Lastly, on movies and TV, R.I.P. Sir Michael Gambon, famously known to me as Dumbledore. He did a good job coming in, being completely different from the previous Dumbledore. Like the previous Dumbledore could barely walk, and this guy was like, "What's up, guys? Let's go!"
Yeah,
which is better. Anything else watching? I have music coming up, so
watching. What am I watching?
My Ugly Mug.
No.
Music, Ivan. Did you listen to what I sent you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was good, but I'm not listening to that.
So I sent Ivan an album. It was actually a specific song I sent him from an artist called Steven Sanchez. He made an album called Angel Face, and I put it on my library just to give it a listen, give it a whirl, because I heard I wanted to look for music. I'm like, I need to actually look for good music, and I heard he made an album that's more on like the old school side, like Elvis, some might say. Also like who's the guy? Roy Orbison, Pretty Woman. And I listened to the album and I'm like, this guy has a voice, like a good voice, and the songs are catchy,
right?
And well produced, the music, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, this is good.
They're good.
Especially like some of the song I sent you, I'm like, dang, this has like a good melody. I just love the song. And you're saying to my face,
it's good.
It's good, but I ain't listening to that trash. What happened, Ivan?
I'm coming to a theory that day by day, it is only coming more true and more true that music is now don't.
Yep.
Don't.
Yep.
Don't. Music is like, it sounds weird, but music is background music.
Okay.
Like, I don't see it being, like, it doesn't mean much to me as much as like a movie.
That's fair.
I'm not done. Don't yell at me.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Oops.
Like, I get that a good music will elevate a movie to like 1 million, but I don't see the reverse being as the same. Like a black and white muted movie, I think, will always beat like a plain album.
Okay.
Like a masterpiece of an album versus a masterpiece of a muted movie.
Interesting. A muted movie? Like, no, you can't even hear them talk?
Oh, I guess you could talk, but just no music.
Okay.
but like if you combine them together, it like multiplies. So
Sure.
it would like synergize and be like something even greater. But I don't care about music that much.
I get that.
Like I'm just a casual. I'm a casual.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
coming
it
to
is.
terms with what I am, and I'm leaving the real hard music listening to the real hard music listeners.
That's fair. But that being said, like as a casual, you should be able to listen to like the best stuff and be like, "Oh, this is good." Maybe,
I mean, I do.
but yeah, I guess that's the rebuttal. Like Steven Sanchez at Angel Face isn't the best.
Like I could tell things are good. It just like
Doesn't trigger an emotional response.
not as easily as like a movie would.
Right.
Like it's out of 10 albums, maybe one would. Out of 10 movies, maybe 5 would.
Right. That's fair.
And music sucks.
I think it's also. Do you think it's like how you were raised or how you were born?
Nature versus nurture.
We're talking about the big stuff. Because you didn't grow up listening to much music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know some people have music and it's like listen to music and it's like the most important thing to them. Like this is me, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And I think it's just a difference of like my brain makeup versus others. Like I almost said it.
Retired?
But the slur of that. Retired? The bad one. I'm not smart. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
What was I don't remember where I was going with
nature
that.
and nurture. It sounds like it's nature.
Like like I just don't think like auditory is like my wheelhouse.
Gotcha.
Like I could tell it's good, but it doesn't like sing to me like it does for other people.
That makes sense.
But like I would think words sing to me in ways like these auditory people don't.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I'm sure everyone like art sings to them in ways. This like it's like one of those audio things.
Yes. The
like,
mixer.
Yeah, like some people's auditory is all the way up, their language is down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's like it's like a theory.
Yes.
But
no, it's true. It's like it's what you're into, basically.
Yeah.
It's like I'm into this. I'm not that into collecting coins.
Yeah.
But
I want to be accepted as that.
You are, Evan.
I don't want people.
In this house, you are. In the outside world, I don't know.
Thank you.
Lastly, on music, I listened to Daft Punk's live albums.
Oh, yes.
And the 2007 Alive is just
touch it, bring it, pay it. That was like I still kind of think about that song.
To me, it was the one
after what I just said.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
To me, the song that really hit home was I actually don't even know the name, but it's just like bass heavy.
Oh, I think I know. I don't know, but
And to me, what really stood out in the album was, since it was a live album,
the voices.
The voice? No.
Oh, audience, I meant.
Oh yeah. Like just more so the control. Like they knew when it was coming down, and like, all right, time to pick it up, bitches.
Yeah.
And let's slow it down. Let's linger on this. Let's linger on that. Just their pacing was beautiful.
Yeah, it's crazy how like they're just masters.
Yeah.
Like there's no question about it. Like me and my auditory thing's at the bottom, but I can tell like from whatever everything else they've done, they have like the most perfect grasp on like how to unleash their vision.
Yep.
In their way. And it's just so insane. And that album, like with the audience, like you could feel their energy too. Like it's the perfect, like it feels alive. 2007. Oh my god.
And then it also made me think about the Playboy Cardi video I saw where at the concert where everyone was like, oh
yeah.
But I imagine this was like that, but for an hour straight.
Like yeah, like,
you know, like
Cardi's baby compared.
Yeah, Cardi's great and all, but Daft Punk?
That's why I'm like, I have like my beef with Cardi is like, I get
Beef.
the
They
appeal.
have beef.
We've had beef for a while.
Guns?
Many
Sticks?
stones,
Bones.
words. My beef with them is that, like, I get the appeal. Like, it's kind of like just rager, lose yourself kind of music, but like it's kind of he accidentally came upon that just with his natural talent, which isn't even like a bad thing. But if you have that natural talent, I would want you to just like work on it as hard as possible and like elevate your like one wheelhouse to like perfection instead of just like, well, I got it now, I might as well just milk it till it's dead, which is kind of what he's been doing like his career at this point. Like, I don't see improvement in him. Not that every one needs it, but what I look for is people who just improve.
Who adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who evolve.
Yes.
And Cardi's not that. I think that's just my beef. He doesn't evolve, and he won't.
What if the new album?
It's
It's always what if, right?
But they say that like,
It's always what if, and
then
it never
like,
is.
it comes out, everyone hates it. A month later, you know what? He was ahead of his time. Like, all right, I'm tired of this.
Yes, I know what you mean. Ivan, anything else? Music, sports, video games, TV, movies, random.
No.
Me neither. Nice. Ivan, we'll be back next week with the movie The Creator. You excited?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. Until then, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.
Bye.